Good evening, everyone. Welcome to ULTV Study Abroad 101. I'm Shefali Shrivastava, Marketing and Communication Manager at University Living. Today, we have a very distinguished speaker in the house. We are joined by Suci Ariyanti, Brand Specialist at Keystone Education Group. Keystone Education Group has helped over 110 million unique students with their very most important decision every year, which is which way to go, how to go about your university and college. Keystone Education Group supports more than 5,500 higher education institutions through their 460 different websites available in 33 languages and 8 core higher education verticals. Having said that, I am sure you all are curious to learn more. So without further ado, let's begin. Hi, Suchi, how are you between?
Hi, Shefali, I'm good. Thank you
Thank you
so
so
much
much
for
for
the
joining us
introduction.
today.
Yeah, it's my pleasure as well. Thank you for inviting us. And yeah, I'm happy to share
Looking forward
whatever
to
that
have
you
a
need.
very insightful session with you. So without further ado, as I said, we'll just dive into the conversation. How is Keystone Education Group helping students?
Yeah, as you have mentioned before, like we have different sites or many sites. It's yes, I don't know, more than 100, and we're helping students in many backgrounds or all backgrounds that they have. We have sites in English, we have sites in Finnish, for example, in Danish, in German, in so many languages that students can just go there and find all the resources that they need to study abroad. But we mainly wanting to help students to realize their dream to study abroad. And we're helping them through many ways. One of them is that we have these guides for them to see or to get the information that they need to study abroad. For example, if they're thinking about which country that I should go to, we have country guides. If they're looking for funding, we have funding guides. We have also study abroad guide from A to Z, like from which steps that they should start to look for or they should do to study abroad. And then we also have different types of reports, scholarships, top 10 study destination rankings for them to see. And I think the most important one is that we have search pages in our site where it's so easy for students to really look for the education or the school that they want to go, and they can go to our site, type in the search page their interest, their program or the subject area or specific countries that really suit their preferences, and they could search that right away in our site. Yeah.
Great. So I understand that you have solution for half of the population of the world in different languages, in the languages where they are comfortable with, and you have a set guides to help them out. If, for example, I have a issue with respect to just university, there's a separate guide to help me out with the university. There's a separate
Yeah.
guide to help me out with the courses, correct?
Yeah. Yeah.
All of
Correct.
this is available on this website.
Yeah, all of that are available in our site. And I would mainly mention as well about educations.com. It's the English site that I'm working with. We have so many teams in so many countries as well, like they're working in different languages. And I think for this session, mainly if you are speaking in English or you are looking for information in English, all of the guides about university, country, scholarship, and everything is available in educations.com. Yeah, so you'll find everything
Great. So
there.
educations.com is that one point solution. If I'm an English language user, then I can just go over there and then I can search for a particular guide with my question and I'll be able to get the help, right?
Yes, correct. And if you also like, I have already decided to study in certain schools, or okay, I want to go to this university, you can also contact them directly in our site as well. The process will be smooth. You can just like click on the link in the university page, and then they will get back to you with all the helps that you need.
Great. So it's like a directory to, study abroad dreams.
Yeah.
Great, great. Now, you guys have been really active, not just with the students, but also with the institutions, the universities. Now, COVID was a very, different time. It has mixed feeling and mixed offering for everyone across the world. How did it impacted the international higher education system? If you can help us enlighten what exactly happened, how much differentiate it has created, what's going to be next in the whole ecosystem.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I think almost all the industries, especially educations, are impacted by COVID, and it's been 3 years since then. So many changes has happened. We from Keystone, we made this research last year about the effect of COVID on international higher educations, and we found out that from the student perspective, it's surprisingly a lot of students are still wanting to go study abroad to different countries that they want to, but only 5.4% of them wanted to cancel their plans, even though some of the programs were still online. I think for now, a lot of countries have already lifted their barriers, or like they're already open for international students. A lot of universities are open 100% for offline classes, which is great for students. But even during the time where it was still online, we found out that only half of the students who fill out our survey wanted to cancel their program, which is great. And the interests are still high. So it's really good from the university side, knowing that students are still very much interested to study abroad. And we also have seen that some classes are still online as well. And we saw that in the beginning, it was difficult for university to adapt with these 100% remote classes, kind of. But now the quality and the recognition of the virtual degree has also been increasing, which is great for students that no matter what their choices are, whether to study from home or to study offline at the university, the quality are getting better and better for both. So it's, yeah, it's I would say a silver lining from this condition that is really surprisingly difficult for all of us. And also from our survey last year as well, that we saw that 85% of current students saying that they're still taking their classes online and they could cope up with that. So it is great as well. And maybe one of the concern that we are facing right now is the mental health for students regarding about classes that are online, and everything that were online, everything was only in front of the laptop, and it kind of affect them in a way. And we know that university noticed that as well, and we get the information that some universities really offering mental health services for students that has been, how to say, affected by that 100% virtual meeting that happened for the last 3 years. But yeah, since then, that were the focus, and I'm so happy to say that now so many universities are already starting to operate 100% offline. And yeah, I hope that many more students will go study abroad
Right.
this year.
Right, right. There are two things that you mentioned, and that's accurately correct, 100%. Mental health awareness was there before COVID as well, but when this COVID situation happened, a lot of people, not just students, but a lot of people face this challenge because we are human beings. We need to socialize, we need to meet each other, and all of a sudden, all that connection was went to zero. There was no connection, there was no networking happening. So of course that was really difficult time. And yeah, it's gonna be around 3 years, I'll say almost 3 years gonna be soon because of COVID. But it does feel like a decade of the things that has happened, and still
True.
people are overcoming the whole fact. uh, Even we in when we also did a little bit survey when students started reaching us out, I will definitely agree this part that, regardless of whatever hesitation initially parents or students were having during COVID period, it was all gone once the borders started opening and everybody was like, let's go back to the normal. Let's just go back over there to study. Still online education is going on, but students and especially international study abroad dreams, if we talk about, it's actually mostly about the experience they get abroad. That's something that they do. And if I talk about the silver lining that you mentioned, so definitely there's always pros to some negatives. So the positive side of COVID was that it opened the gate for virtual world like anything, and a lot of opportunities were created through this virtual webinars and all that. If we talk about us, this
True.
is this whole idea actually got very much initiated during the COVID time only. So definitely did had some negatives, but positives as well. But I think now the market is pretty much positive.
Yeah. Yeah. Now
Correct.
it's still, yeah, it's already pretty much positive, and students have more options than before, I would say, to choose whether they want to study from their home country, but get exposed to international environment as well through online, which is good. But if they also want to know, I really want to go outside of the country and experience 100% of international environment, that they can also do that. So it's good to have more options right now.
Right. And I have heard from a couple of students, because we also have a large amount of community with us, that they were really happy because of all this COVID situation. A lot of universities have, not were not taking the entrance exam. So they were just getting onboarded with the students with
Mm.
on their academic marks and their SOP. So they were really happy that they do not have to perform extra. They do not have to give another exam for that. So I still
Yeah,
remember that
that's
students
a
were,
bonus.
yeah, they were taking out positive and enjoying the time out of this only. So yeah,
Mm.
great. Now, while we're on the subject of the students, it's very important for a student to understand and to select a right university and a course.
Yeah.
It plays very important role. Most of the times students are definitely well educated and they take the right call, but couple of times it happens that we are going there just because our family friends have been there, or a friend is going, or this course is trendy enough to, in the market. So what are the parameters, if I talk about what are the parameters a student should consider while selecting a course in a university?
Yeah, for the parameters, I would say that different universities have different facilities, of course. And the first thing that students need to do is to really know what they want, really ask questions for themselves on why do I want to study abroad? Why, which, what are the things that are important for me? For example, whether you think that it is good to study in a country with a high safety environment, for example, and whether you really think about, oh, it's important for me to really study in a place where I could grow my career over there, or whether it's important for me to know or make connection with international people. I can go travel and make adventure in certain countries, or things like that. It's type of questions that students should really take some time to understand themselves, to really know what they wanted. And once they know the factors that they want to have while they're studying abroad, then they could start to think about external part, which is choosing the university. So I know that we created also yearly survey, and we try to like recognize students consideration of choosing universities, and what are the type of things that are highly considered by them. We would say that a lot of students are quite thinking really about their career goals and whether the university over that. So for students who are really put importance on that, you can choose universities who are offering services to help you to find job after study, for example. And or maybe some students, they really want to go back to their home country after study, and they really want to contribute something to their home country, which is good. And you can try to find university who are able to transfer the credits back to your home institution, or you could find the, how to say, industry connection internationally that you could bring back to your home country. And the last part, I would say that try to consider the rankings as well. We know that different institutions offer different types of rankings, but when you see that the top rankings that are available there, they always come up also with different factors on why you should choose the university. And from finding that one, you can then break that down into details. Okay, this university is in the top 5. It's because of A, B, C, D, and see whether that fits with your goals as well. I hope I answered that one. But
Yes, you did.
yeah,
And in fact, we got a very good point this time. Usually we talk about doing the right homework, doing the research part on right, and getting questions from all other students who have been there. But the point that you mentioned, that you need to take a close look within yourself, that is this something that I'm capable of doing? Is this something that I really
yeah,
want to do? That's very important. That I really want to do. That I will give my 100% to it. That question is really important. So you definitely highlighted something very crucial. And of course, ranking does play a bigger role. That's also, it's a given fact. It's not just a Google ranking that is happening. There are a lot of efforts goes behind it. So
That's true.
definitely ranking does create a difference. I'm pretty sure students will love this answer, and I hope that they start doing
Yeah.
self-examination within
Yeah.
themselves. They just don't go because their friends are going. You should
Yeah.
definitely go,
That's
but
true.
yeah, either try get your friend along with you if
Yeah.
they
It's really,
if they haven't
yeah,
watched this. Yeah, if they're not
that's
watching
true.
this, that's their loss. You do the self examination, you take your friend along with you, or ask them to watch this. Now,
Yeah.
as you mentioned that you have been in touch, and of course you guys are doing the regular surveys. 2023, we all are, expecting it to be much better, and we hope that there is no new COVID variant happening in that year. So if we want to understand that, which countries are popular for, among students for 2023 intake?
Yeah. So for 2023 intake, I would say that it really depends on from which countries that they are coming. I mean, different territorial or different countries have different interests in certain countries. But I could mention you 10 countries, I would say, that become top study abroad destinations. And it is based on our survey that we've done this year as well. The first one is UK. I think it's still very popular among students.
I'll
US
second that.
comes next. Yeah, US comes next, and then Canada, Germany, Australia, France, Italy, Netherlands, Spain, and Sweden sitting there as well. Again, I think it's really important to know where the popular or a lot of students wanted to go to, which countries are as well. But I really encourage for students who are watching this right now to really, really know what's your preferences, and do not only go to countries that are already well known or it's already popular for students to go study abroad, but you need to find a country that really suits you the most with the factors that you think that are important for you. With that consideration, we also release top 10 study abroad destination ranking every year. We usually release that in January, and some countries are the same with the survey that we've done, like students are interested there as well. Some countries are not there. For example, I would mention Switzerland. It's also actually one of the best places to study abroad. But we come up with the top 10 rankings with different factors. For example, first, we try to calculate the high quality education that they offer, and then we try to consider as well the type of supports that government giving when it comes to scholarship, and then we also try to consider the safety part and whether it's friendly enough for international students to be there. So it was a lot of factors we take into consideration to come up with those countries. So of course, do your research. The countries that I've mentioned was popular for 2023, but you can also take a look at our top 10 countries to see whether certain factors fits your preferences the most.
Right, right. So we are your lens when you are searching for the right country, because you only know what exactly are you looking for.
Yeah,
The countries that Suchi mentioned are based on the merits and demerits that they have parameters that is actually mostly taken by maybe 80-90% of students may be considering that, but there is a niche to that. And of
yeah,
course there are many countries which are not on the top 10 list, but they are underdogs, and you have, underdogs actually perform really well most of the times, and you have this unexplored territory. It's a good option if you go to a known country which is not very popular and you go over there and become an influencer. That always helps.
yeah,
So yeah, so now moving forward, we have discussed the countries. Now there has been this debate going on not recently, it's been a little while, between the courses. There's a traditional course, and then there is this new age courses. So what is this all debate about, and what do you think is more popular among these students?
yeah. The first thing that come into my mind when it comes to courses that are in the new age, kind of, we know that a lot of students are now interested into machine learning. A lot of students are interested into data analytics, which wasn't there before, but the rise of the online environment really affect that part. But from our research this year as well, the top subject areas or courses that students are taking The first one are still healthcare and medicine. It's still popular among students, and maybe that is not into the category of new age. I think it's still traditional, but we found out that a lot of students are really focusing, since COVID happened as well, I think they are taking into consideration the part where they want to help more people, and they could do that through healthcare and medicine. That's like one of the example. And then the second one, more and more students are choosing business and administration courses. And the third one comes computer science and IT, which I think when you're talking about machine learning again, or cryptocurrency, courses like that are included in computer science and IT. And then the fourth position is engineering, and the rest is social sciences. So that is the top subject areas that we've been seeing this year through our survey. And I think it's pretty more relatable to students.
Right, right. So it's a mix of, traditional
Yeah.
and non-traditional courses.
Yeah.
Of course, because of COVID, a lot of people have started recognizing the importance of health sector, and there have been a lot of opportunities also available in health sector. So definitely health sector is being traditional also, but it is being in the boom in the top courses these days. So definitely. Now, you mentioned about a lot of financial aid and scholarship in one of your previous answers. We came to know that there are a lot of scholarship opportunities available at Keystone. So how one can qualify for them? If you can help us, that what are these scholarship, how one can avail, and are there any prerequisites for this?
Yeah. Oh, I'm so happy to talk about this. So scholarships, we in Keystone, we offer different types of scholarships. I would maybe specifically mention as well for our English site, educations.com. We offer 3 types of scholarships. I think you guys can take notes on this because like different scholarship have different timelines as well. The first one that I would mention is the Bachelors in the US scholarship, where we give out a scholarship, partial scholarship. I would mention that the amount is 5,000 US dollar for a student who wants to study bachelor in the US. And it's been interesting because I am one of the person who is responsible for that. And I've been reading a lot of essays about these young students who are in high school and they want to continue to undergraduate, and how they're really passionate about what they're doing. And I really believe that this scholarship could really help them to achieve that dream as well. And they're very young, so I'm happy with that. So Bachelor's in the Year Scholarship, the timeline, we just closed the 2022 admissions last month. So we're currently in the process of announcing the winner by the coming weeks. We just announced the finalists this week. And the new term for 2023 is still open until June 2023. So if any of you want to study bachelor's in the US, you can take a look at that. And then the second scholarship is Study a Master's in Europe scholarship. It is for students from all over the world who wants to study master's in any countries in the Europe. And the amount is 5,000 euros as well. And the timeline is, it's still open right now for 2023 period, and it's gonna close in, let me try to think, it's gonna be in April, if I'm not mistaken. The information is also available in our website, of course. And yeah, it's now, I think it's the period for you to really choose your university in Europe first, and then consider to apply for that scholarship as well. And then the third scholarship that I would mention is the Go Global MBA scholarship. It is for students who want to study MBA in any countries in the world, whether in Europe, whether in the US, whether in Asia, wherever you want to study. And the amount for the scholarship is 7,000 US dollars. And all the scholarship that I mentioned, the amount is intended to cover part of your tuition fees. So you, for example, you want to exchange that into covering your living expenses. We cannot do that, but it's part of the tuition fees that we can help you to cover. And for Go Global MBA, the timeline is now it's still open, and it's gonna close in May 2023. So yeah,
So
those
this is
are
the
the 3
right time.
scholarships.
This
Yeah,
is the right time, in fact, for
this
all
is the
the
right time
colleges.
for you to really prepare for that. That's
So
true.
we
That's
have,
true.
yeah. So we have done this record, ULTV right on time, so that you don't miss on any opportunity.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, how are there any prerequisites to apply for this scholarship? How many can avail the scholarship? Is there a number of winners? How does it go about
Okay.
it?
When it comes to winner, we choose only one winner per scholarship. So it's pretty competitive. We usually come up with 8 to 10 finalists per scholarship. And then yeah, one winner from that one. So yeah, hopefully we can bring more winners in the future. Right now that's what we offer. And I think even if you're looking for more scholarship other than those three, in our site, English site as well, educations.com, you can find this scholarship guide where we listed over 400 scholarships over there that are coming from governmental scholarship or institutional, partial or fully funded ones. You can find them all in our scholarship guide. You can see yeah, I think, yeah, I can share you the link later if you want to put
Sure.
that in the caption below.
Yeah, so we'll share that guide link in the caption.
Yeah.
There's no worry. But yes, this
Sure.
is the right time to go ahead. Of course, it's a little tough competition, I'll say, but it's definitely worth it to give it a try. If you win, what's the harm? Now we're almost near the end of our session, but before we move further and bid our adieu, what's next for the international higher education?
Yeah. Ooh, okay. I would say that what's next for international higher education will be the peer-to-peer information exchange. Yeah, we know that now with the growing online communication, you can find so many resources online, in the website, in the university side, or third-party sites, or different sources that you can find all over the sites. YouTube is one of them. That's why we're here. And I would say that the focus of the university is to spread out the information is always about the students, and the most important part or the most effective part of spreading this information to students is actually through students as well. So the peer-to-peer information exchange from student to students are going to be really high, I would say, or it's going to be, how to say, what's the term for that? It's going to be like up and running in the coming years, because we've done this year, for example, we've done a study abroad ambassadors program to really capture the experience of the students itself, and they share something authentic, they share something beneficial, they share a truthful information based on their experience. And then the upcoming students or the students who are currently thinking to study abroad can have that, can really think whether this other student experience can really match with their expectation to study there. And that's really important to show the authentic part of the international student environment to the upcoming students. So I think that's the next for international higher education as well. Right now in educations.com as well, for the last 2 years, we've been arranging this Global Study Abroad Fair, which were done offline usually, and we have that online for the last 2 years, and it's been great. Like students can really meet their this university representatives, they can really ask questions right away. So the mix between these two types of information that students are getting from the students as a peer-to-peer information exchange, and to the university directly whenever they want it, wherever they are, is a really good mix between those two dynamics for international higher education, especially for students thinking to study abroad.
True, true. It does make sense. And I got a little information from a birdie that you guys are organizing another fair really soon. So what is this fair about, and how the students can go?
Yes, Global Study Abroad Fair. So uh, we will have three different events for this autumn period. The first one gonna be in October 13th. That will be intended for EMEA students. And then we will have the one in 20th of October for students for Americas, which are intended for students who want to study in the university in the US or other countries in the America region. And then we will have the last one in November. Yeah, I will give you the
10th
details
of
on that.
November,
Yeah,
yeah.
Yeah, you guys can also find that later in the caption below for the link to register that as well. There will be so many universities. We already have over 50 plus registration, if I'm not mistaken. And you can always try to fit in with the dates and the schedule that suited you the most. It will be highly encouraged that you register to the fair which suited your study destinations. For example, if you want to be in the US, then you should join the Americas one. If you want to study in Europe, then you should join the MEA one, for example. But there really you can meet a lot of universities, their representatives. You can ask them right away, ask them about scholarships. And we ourselves in Keystone, we offer you as well a flight scholarship. So if you already have your letter of acceptance, if you really will go study next year, we will have this 3,000 euro scholarship as a flight ticket for you as well. And it will be in a, how to say, in the form of game. You'll do a little bit of game when you're visiting the fair, and you will gather some stamps when you're visiting the university booths, and then we will draw your name in to win the prize of 3,000 euros flight scholarship.
So it's like a lucky draw.
Yeah, yeah,
But you need to have a letter from the university, right, for this?
yeah.
Sure.
True. The main, yeah.
Yeah, I can't win it. So, but you guys have this opportunity. So you should definitely try. Okay, so all these fairs are virtual, right?
Yeah, all these fairs are virtual in the comfort of your home. So no worries. Just make sure that you have a good internet
Yeah, so
connection.
you don't have to fly
Yeah,
physically, but you can win a flight ticket from here, fly scholarship.
that's true. That's true.
Right. Suchi, thank you so much for joining us. We're almost near the end of the session. Before we part, we always ask our speaker to share the 2 cents of wisdom. So what are your 2 cents of wisdom for the viewers?
Yes. 2 cents of wisdom from me would be that we know that it's a very tiring process to apply to study abroad, to really look for information to study abroad and gather all the requirements to study as well. And I would remind all students that are watching us right now that you're not alone. We in Keystone, most of us were international students as well. I believe in university living as well, that you guys have been studying abroad and know the process of that. So for students who are watching, you are not alone. You have us here. You can always ask for questions that you want to know, ask for help that you need as well, and you can find them all in our site, or you can also reach out to the university directly through us. So yeah, don't give up. Still do everything that you can for realizing your dream to study abroad, and yeah, we're here to help you.
Right, rightly said. Just don't stop yourself. You're not alone in the journey. There are many people out there to help you out. You just need to have a little courage and ask for that help that you need. So on this note, we'll be closing our session. Thank you so much for joining us today. We hope you find it useful. Looking forward to seeing you guys next Friday, 5 p.m. on RUL TV, Study Abroad 101. Stay tuned to our social media handles for more information. Thank you so much, Suchi, for joining us.
Thank you, Shafali.